Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending our September infrastructure meeting. I'd like to read the acknowledgement of country. I would like to show respect and acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the land and of elders, past, present and future, on which this meeting takes place. Do we have any applications for attending meeting via video link?
Nil, Mr. Chair.
Are there any apologies?
None received.
Any disclosure of interest?
There's been nothing submitted to date.
Do we have any public participation?
Not today.
Okay, let's move on to the business items. On page 2, ISC 09.1, Works Program Infrastructure Services, Water and Sewer. Graham, you have the floor.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll take the report as read. Just going through a few notable items. First one is on page 1 at the bottom of page 1. There's a Becker report on the New South Wales, the joint water treatment plant. That's been given to you as a loose item that's on your desk. And that just goes through the detail what was being proposed or what is being proposed. What we found is that the area that we originally planned was not adequate in size, and there was a much larger area required, and we've since gone off to New South Wales Water requesting whether that land would be available. So we're waiting to hear back for that. There is a meeting to talk about that was planned for the 22nd of September, but has now been deferred because Muswellbrook cannot attend. That's yet to be programmed. Turning the page, top of the page, there's some discussions that are going to occur probably around 22nd of December on the Scone Sewage Treatment Plant. That's yet to be programmed too. But it's probably worth noting the last paragraph in that Scone Sewage Treatment Plant that there will be sludge removal required probably later in this year, this financial year that is. Right at the bottom of the page, there's village water supply reticulation. There's concrete slabs going in for the standpipe areas for our reticulation to the villages. And the last one was that we're still working on the Murrurundi Dam decommissioning process and what that looks like from either a partially filled or an emptied space after the last consultation we had with council at the briefing session. I don't have anything else. Any questions?
Any questions or comments? With the Brushy Hill site, is there going to be an additional cost, or is that going to be additional cost to council, or is it going to be shared, I assume, with Muswellbrook Council? Does it put us in any further disadvantage, or how is it funded?
The first part of the process is to decide whether or not the Brushy Hill site is feasible, and that was the purpose of this consultant report. It was about whether or not there was enough land, whether it was too steep, and whether or not it physically would fit on the site. From a council perspective, Gundy Road may be a better option for Scone or for the Upper Hunter Council, and that's yet to be proven, but certainly Muswellbrook came to us, and there may be some economies of scale to consider a joint plant, and that's the purpose of what we're currently undertaking. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you. And just on the Scone water treatment plant, there was a discussion there when we inspected it regarding the different ways in which it could be modified. Is there anything further on that?
Oh, that's the purpose of the meeting we need to have with DPE and health. We've now done an investigation about the chemistry and the processes, and we're pretty comfortable with understanding what we know and how to operate the plant. And so we're ready for that discussion to decide what the way forward is.
Thank you. Any further?
Just
comment?
a quick one in regard to your question in regard to the land purchase. If land has to be purchased for this project and it's required for the joint project, then it'll be a joint cost to both councils.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that. No further questions or comments?
Move the recommendation.
seconder, please. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against, I think the ayes have it. Would like to turn over to.
Mr Chair, can I, sorry, if I can just
Yes.
procedurally, can I
Yes.
just give my apology? I did miss, councillor Clout did send through an apology yesterday, and I missed it. So I just, if we can just confirm
Okay,
the
we go
minutes.
back again.
We did have an
Move and
apology.
seconder. Yeah,
Thanks.
okay, move and second. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against, I think the ayes have it. Thank you, Mr GM. Turn over to page 7, ISC 9.2. Our works program, infrastructure works program. Sam's not here, so Raj is. So Raj, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. So I take that the report's been read. I'm happy to answer any questions.
The on page 8, we have the Ashbrook Road, Colson's Creek Road by 2, Ridgelands Road and Rookel Road. That's the ones that are they being attended to, or are they being in this present scope of works?
Yeah.
Right.
So those are the roads that were successful in claiming for the damages through the flood event AGRN 987.
Right.
And that's actually a design and investigation package. We have kind of got the design specs should match the Transport for New South Wales requirement, and we have to actually engage a contractor for design and the construct package for that.
Okay. Any questions or comments? On page 9, the Causeway Betterment Program, which do we have a list of those that have been identified and will be attended to?
So the Causeways Betterment Program, we have been successful in getting $1.8 million for that. And we have successfully engaged a contractor, Joseph Saba Consulting. And that's a design and construct as well. And there will be around 35 to 40 causeways, which will be, getting an upgrade from a gravel causeway to a concrete causeway. And we have already, the contractors already engaging or tendered out the construction design and construct, tender, and it's yet to be evaluated and awarded in the next couple of months.
Right.
Yeah.
Mr Chair, if you turn your agenda pages to page 21, it's in the capital works project, which we will get to, but the betterment program is listed with both the causeway projects and the drainage projects separately.
That's a question I had to ask anyway. Thank you for that.
Just Mr Chair, just through the causeways, I note around the show, a lot of our causeways that we've already got are really, really badly need some attention before we lose the causeway. So I might have to put some CRMs in actually on some causeways.
Would that be eligible for some of this funding? Even although we've identified, how many did you say? I think it's 35.
Yeah.
Already identified.
So any other additional causeways that are not in this list should have to come as a CRM or should have to be picked up in our inspection and programming schedules, and then they will be attended to. Thank you.
I'm just wondering whether the new way of detecting some damaged roads and things, has that been implemented yet?
So we are currently undergoing trainings for that, and we are rolling that out. We haven't yet fully established that process. We are still working on it, but we will get back to the council with future updates on how we can best implement and what are the efficiencies we are looking at.
Okay, we've all been given the grading program, etc., and so for those who have very good eyes, is there any comment or questions regarding those? I would very much like to say how much that the Forest Reserve Road has been upgraded and the manner in which that the drains have been attended to. Whoever the grader driver operator, I think he should be given a pat on the back and said, well done. It would have taken him longer to do that work, but the prevention of getting water across that road and washing out some of that good gravel that's down the bottom will certainly show that it was done correctly, and the drains, etc., are a credit to him what he's tried to do. So thank you, and also the amount of material that was put on. It's very harsh, that material, hard on tires, but you won't bog. And so I guess that's one of the things that we've got to accept with putting it onto black soil and that heavy chocolate country. So please pass that on to the team, if you wouldn't mind. It was most impressive.
Thank you, Chair. Can I just add one more comment?
Yes.
So we, as you're aware that we have been, having a lot of delays in our program due to unavailability of contractors and, other flood works priorities coming up. However, in the last 2 months, the target is to, grade around 97 kilometers of road network every month. And in a year, the total is around 1180 kilometers of roads, depending on our frequency and the grading program. And the last 2 months, we have exceeded that, 97 kilometers of grading.
Well, that's very good.
Yeah.
As long as those drains are cleaned out, etc. The Redwell Road has had certainly an upgrade, and if those, I've only travelled it earlier on, but it wasn't quite finished. But I believe that if the grader operator takes more time to grade and does those drains and the I don't know whether they call them motor drains, they're above the road anyway, that should be taken into note because of the fact that is prevention rather than trying to cure it. Okay, we have a mover and a seconder. Moved. Seconded, Councillor McPhee, seconded Mayor. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against, I think the ayes have it. I'd like to turn over to page 17, ISC 09.3. Raj, I'm sorry, I get that. Anyway,
Thank you, Chair.
okay, thank you.
So this is basically a report on the existing capital works for this financial year and the progress. And also given in the report is the original budget, the revised budget, and the budget that's been spent to date until end of August. So I'm happy to take any questions if you got on specific projects.
Well, we've got those in our notes here. Are there any, mainly bridges, etc., and some of the roads? Do we have any questions or comments? It's just good to see that we've got so many things on projects on the go. I guess it's staff, etc., and availability of contractors, which would be a limiting problem. The Morella Street, this is over on page 21, the Morella Street causeway. I've asked this every time. How are we going with that tender document draft? Is it anything going further? Was that resolved between the Muswellbrook Shire and our Shire? Because yeah, the
Yeah.
yeah.
I think we're still going ahead with the concrete causeway.
Could you like to turn your phone on? Turn your phone on, please.
Sorry, Councillor Campbell. We're going out for quotations for the construction of the concrete causeway. I think it's estimated to cost less than the required requirement to go to tender, and works are still progressing. Plans are complete.
Through the chair, yeah, the plans are complete, and we'll be just completing the scope of work documents to go out and get some pricing. I'm hoping to get those out this week.
And is there any what's the expected time lag before construction can start? Is there any any idea of that time?
Through the chair, I guess it really depends on when the contractors are available.
Yeah,
So we'll be getting quotes off multiple contractors to see and we have availability. When they'll be able to do it, we'll have a good waiting as well. So it may be that we don't know really until we get the answer. Sorry.
right, okay. It possibly would appear then probably start next year. Would that be feasible to expect?
Through the chair, well, hopefully we'll be starting this calendar year.
Okay.
Again, that's what I hope.
All right.
Mr. Chair, just a comment on Ashford's Bridge and Lapstone Bridge. Well done, Krista. You're no doubt heavily involved in that. It's certainly going along very, very quickly. And certainly great contractors, those fellows.
Yeah, through the chair, those two bridges have been constructed by Wager Constructions, very professional, very well organised, and yeah, it's in about a month's time from when they start to when the bridge is completed and it's just ready for the approach works to be completed. Yeah, it's taking them about 4 weeks on each bridge, so they've gone very well.
Gee whiz. That's pretty
So,
good.
Mr. Chair, behind every good comment, there's a bad one. Moonam Brook upgrade. Installation of drainage culverts is complete, waiting on gravel to be crushed at Elliston Quarry. What's the latest on this? We've had 3 years to source this gravel and now we're waiting. Anyone got an update?
Yes, I have through the chair. The mobile crusher was transported to the quarry at Elliston at about the turn of the month. They've been crushing there for a couple of weeks now, and they've having some tests were taken from some of the gravel that was crushed last week. We're expecting the results back today or tomorrow, assuming that they'll pass the tests because the original testing was okay. Then we'll start to bring that gravel into Moonam Brook Road and start laying the sub base and the base material.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Chair. Is that sub base and the fault that all coming from Elliston, or are we bringing the top coat in?
I believe it's all coming from Elliston.
Beautiful.
Homogeneous layer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that was conveyed to me by Sam last Friday.
All right, any further comments or questions? Okay, we've got a mover and a seconder.
Second.
Then all those in favour, please say aye. Those against, I think the ayes have it. Which one are we up to? 17. 17, these pages here. ISC. Too many files of paper, I think. Yep, Capital Works. Okay, Rag, you'd have the floor, wouldn't you?
This. No, we finished with the capital works. It's just,
Yeah.
Next one is MR 358.
Yeah, 358. Yeah, 70 we did, it's 23. Oh, okay, who's going to venture in that department? Give a comment. We need to put your phone on.
I'll give a quick update, Mr. Chair. We're still waiting for confirmation for the funding. That's the short answer. Until we get any written confirmation, we're not in a position to engage a contractor or commence any works.
That's right. We just need to have that mentioned, that's all. Yeah, okay. Moving to second of the report be noted, accepted. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against, I think the ayes have it. Ah, dear. Turn over to page 27, ISC 9.5, local roads initial seal project update. Chris, who's going to do that? Raj or you?
I'll talk to that. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll take the report as read, but just to touch on a couple of highlights. As mentioned just a few minutes ago, crushing of the material at Elliston Quarry started earlier in the month. the crusher was transported across the temporary crossing beside Ashford's Bridge, which was chocked to get it across. And the new bridge is now complete and traffic open to traffic. So when that crusher comes back, it'll come back across on Ashford's Bridge itself. Yeah, so the crushing's going there, and hopefully we'll be able to start laying that material down on Moonambrook Road very soon. Construction on Barrington Tops Forest Road has started with the installation of the culverts. So they're working their way up the hill. There's 2 crews on there now. We've got 2 subcontractors working their way up the hill. They're laying pipes. Pipes are arriving. So things are looking good there on the progress on Barrington Tops Forest Road.
Could you just fill us in a bit more on Hunter Road?
Hunter Road
There?
is, I guess, it's fallen back in line now with the timing of the funding. The order of completion on the fundings now is Moonambrook Road, Barrington Tops Forest Road, and then Hunter Road. So it's been shunted to the end of the line.
And what are you expecting to start the Hunter Road?
Hunter Road now, it's not going to be until the new year before we start.
Okay.
And what we hope to do is to move the like earthworks and the subcontractors that are doing the earthworks and the drainage culverts, and cycle them around once they finish Barrington Tops Forest, then cycle them around onto Hunter Road.
Mr. Chair, just another question. Barrington Tops Road, 9 kilometres. We won't get 9 kilometres done, will we?
Through the chair, the funding's to go up to the 9.1 kilometre mark.
Yeah. Seems optimistic, but anyway.
The Dingo Gate's about what, 11.6. So we're not going all the way up to the Dingo Gates.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, it'll certainly make a difference there. Yes, okay. Any questions or comments?
Just a quick comment through the chair.
Yes.
So to answer, Mayor's question, yes, it's 9.1 kilometers. However, there is a 300 or 400 meter section, which, in which the landslip has happened. That has come under, the flood works funding, the betterment, and we're still negotiating with Transport for New South Wales, and we're actually waiting on the final design estimates from JC Geotechnics to actually go and negotiate with Transport for New South Wales on what we can do about it and how we can upgrade it. I think we've kind of finalized on the design, but we're still waiting on the final design and estimates on that. So rest of the Barrington Tops Road, the works can still progress, and we look forward to getting it all sealed.
Could I just add to that through the chair? We won't be able to get above that slip area via the slip area until the slip area gets repaired, unless we go around via Tamala Road.
Okay. Is there any upgrade on the upgrade of the Ringwood Road, when they're going to start to do that, or who's going to do that? Through what light source?
Yeah, it's all the upgrade of the Ringwood Road. We have given our comments, and Light Source BP is going to do some upgrades on that, and any upgrades to the entry of the Ringwood Road is probably a Transport for New South Wales asset to be upgraded. But we will actually work with Light Source BP on what comments we have given to them and how the upgrades need to be done, and we'll follow up on that once the upgrades happen.
So where there will be contractors doing that?
Yes.
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 Yeah, okay. All right, thank you. Any further questions or comments? Okay, moving a seconder, please.
Moved.
Seeing that all those in favour, please say aye. Those against, I think the ayes have it. Okay, page 31, ISC 9.09.6. Raj, you have the floor.
Thank you. Alan there.
Yeah,
Alan's available, so he'll be giving an
Oh, I
update.
see. Okay.
yeah, thank you, Chair. I'll take the report as read. Happy to answer any questions anyone's got.
Any questions or comments? Are we all happy with the progress that's being made and the changes made? Yes.
Just one
Councillor
comment through the chair. I just think it's really coming along really well, and just like to thank Alan for doing such a great job managing the project.
Here.
Thank you.
Any further comments? Mayor, do you have any comments? Yeah. Look, I only travel in when I travel over the road when I come in from Merriwall, sometimes down from Tamworth. But yeah, look, it is good. I think it's pleasing. And one of the things that I have noted is the fact that the drainage is being fixed up to stop all those shopkeepers down there getting flooded out every time there's a big rain event. And I also remind those people that why that money is being spent there before it comes back to the local council. I think it's very, very important that we all understand that. And the fact that if we didn't do that work or get the Transport for New South Wales, get that money from the government, it'll all come back to the ratepayers. And I just think that that's something we all should understand and propagate if we can. Any further comment or questions? All those, moving to seconder. I move Councillor Keith, Councillor to the Mayor Collison. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against, I think the ayes have it. Well, that brings us to the end of our infrastructure meeting. Thank you for your attendance, and I'll close the meeting. Thank you.